the margins. You can set taxes, you can set standards, you can regulate it, try to regulate things out of existence. But what's happened in the oil business over the last 165 years is every time the federal government tries to regulate it out of business, it's such a nimble industry run by such smart people that they always find a way to adapt and keep getting their business done. And that's what's going to happen here. As Doomberg, I just published, Stu, our interview with Doomberg this morning from Nate. And, as he talked about in that podcast, and everyone I think should watch it, this really smart economist, really brilliant guy, it's just the market is too nimble and adaptable for governments to manage. And 50 years from now, we're inevitably going to be still using even more oil, natural gas, and coal than we use today, because the population, the growing population on Earth, and all these expanding technologies like AI and all the new data centers and all the Bitcoin miners use so much energy, and recharging electric vehicles adds to that. That you're just going to have more of it and use more of it. And the government is just not going to be able to regulate it or legislate it out of existence. Life doesn't work that way. The real world does not conform itself to the wishes of arrogant politicians.
I'm glad you said that. And again, it just goes back to that previous point that people just think they plug in and that's electricity. And that's all it does, is that's where electricity comes from, is from an outlet in the wall. And it just blows my mind how people don't understand. It's like, okay, put us all on electric vehicles. I mean, I saw one the other day, guys, that I even liked. It was a Porsche Taycan or something like that. It's like an awesome looking, but it's all electric.
Yeah.
It looks, right. It's beautiful, awesome looking. And very beautiful. And it's supposed to go 0 to 60 in like 4 seconds. That's great.
So what?
Put me in one of those. Yeah. But
can we digress for a second right there?
Of course, yes.
That selling point for electric vehicles is the stupidest selling point I've ever heard of in my life. Most people buying electric vehicles are wealthy individuals in big cities with stop and go traffic constantly. And on the surface streets, you're driving in 35 mile an hour speed zones. Who gives a damn how much torque the car has?
It's a Porsche, David. It's a Porsche. And I would picture myself driving that thing down to like Fredericksburg, get up in the mountains somewhere. And hopefully there's a charging station at the top of the mountain. But I mean, but the point I'm trying to make here is put us all on electric vehicles. Yeah, I know. Put us all on electric vehicles. We don't have a power grid to support everybody on electric vehicles. I mean, just think about all the 18-wheelers. I mean, as I was traveling to town last night, you see all the truck stops just lined up with trucks. So what are they going to charge for the next 10 hours? I mean, you know what? We can go. I'm going to leave that one alone. What?
You're not supposed to think about that, RT. It goes against the narrative.
I know, but I'm just a common sense person. I think sometimes I need to dream a little bit bigger. I will say that, but common sense is kind of where I keep it. Hey, if I can be on time, I'm happy right now.
There you go.
Hey, I want to show you this video. Here we go. Here are some electric buses, and when you walk up, there's the generator sitting there, a diesel generator.
Something has to provide the actual power to charge their batteries.
Oh, I just thought I got tickled at that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, and now, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now Stellantis is putting generators in their electric vehicles. They're installing small diesel-powered generators in their electric pickup trucks to charge the battery while you're driving. What do we call cars like that? What's the name for them? Hybrids. Right. They're not battery electric vehicles. They're hybrids.
Yeah, I talked about that last night on the night before.
Yeah, you didn't do the show yesterday. Don't say you didn't do Energy Newsbeat. No, you left Michael Tanner solo. You left Michael Tanner solo last night.
Yeah, he's much better than I am.
It was a great episode. Yes.
Yes, he is so much better. I want to give Michael Tanner a shout out. But on the day before that, before I was so rudely interrupted by this good-looking gentleman in a coffee bar, that it was, what the hell was I thinking? I was going to say something, but I just had a David Blackmon Sr. moment.
Well, I will say this, there's just no way that, oh yeah, the vehicles. Okay, couldn't we like create power by like using the way the fan continues to turn all the time, or the tires? We can generate energy that way. I mean, there's so many things we could probably
Perpetual
do.
energy
Just
is
gotta do
something.
that, don't you?
And
Don't
and I
just
went
say
down
that.
the other thing is I went down a rabbit hole with Tesla last night because in my class yesterday, I'm in this class and I'm thinking these people that are teaching me things like are not giving me the Boston Tea Party the shenanigans. It's like, hey, for an example, the Boston Tea Party was really about the beer and the molasses and all that. Give me the adult stuff. Don't give me the fifth grade. So this guy basically goes off on Westinghouse and Thomas Edison, doesn't mention Tesla at all. And it's like we use Tesla's stuff today. So anyway, so I went down to I had a 4-hour drive last night, guys. So I had a lot to do. Okay.
Well, Thomas Edison stole all of Tesla's
That's
ideas.
what I'm saying. But anyway, even Tesla created some kind of electric car that went for long distances
Yeah.
During his time. So
There was,
it's
yeah,
the technology is out there, and we are trying to do things that we can't. And really, the best example of just let the government do something are the modular nuclear reactors that they created 50 years ago, and they're just now becoming public. So are you telling me you got
perpetual
50 more
energy
years?
has been done before, RT, and that's what I was thinking before I had my David Blackmon Sr. moment. And that was perpetual energy. Anybody that has created perpetual energy or hydrogen cars that would run on plain water with nothing else have ended up being dead, made dead early. I'm not kidding. This stuff has been created before. In fact, I've got one in my shop that I'm working on, and it is a perpetual energy machine that is actually water bottles. You might as well create one.
Might as
Oh, come
well.
on. Might as well. What about the guy that took a 1940s Buick and ran 100 miles an hour on 100 miles per gallon of water or something like that?
That's one of the ones I was talking about. So,
And he
yeah,
ended up dead on the side of the road.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, with that, hey, the Hooties and the Blowfish struck yesterday. And
Now,
this is a
is that real,
container.
Stu?
Yes,
Is that real? Okay.
this is not. Yeah, fortunately, the crew. I just found this. I think it was off of Israeli. That and this just came in off of LinkedIn. I have the LinkedIn link that I'll put out there.
What
But
kind of ship is that? Is that a
container ship. Yeah, it was not a tanker. But some of the things that we're seeing, guys, is RT. You and I have talked about this before. Why isn't it? Boy, that's my Oklahoma way to
It sounds
talk.
like, yeah.
Yeah. Why aren't we seeing higher prices, guys? And you got terrorism going all around the world. I don't get.
That's funny you mentioned that because I actually had a private conversation yesterday. You were not invited, Stu, with David
Figures.
Blackman and actually Ed Ireland separately about that because now we're trending at about $78 a barrel. So we've gone up, I say $10 in the last week, and it kind of goes back to what we were talking about 4 to 6 weeks ago. Is that now that this oil is getting to ports after going that long way around Africa, we're finally seeing those prices at the ports that now we got to pass on to the consumers. Is that
Yeah,
correct, David?
but there's still not much of a fear premium,
Yeah,
right?
that's the
In
scary
terms
part.
of all the upset that's happening in the Middle East. And I don't really understand why that is, to be honest with you, because things are deteriorating slowly but surely every day in the Middle East
Yeah.
as the Biden administration continues not to be able to. I mean, I don't know, the U.S. Navy obviously is not capable of keeping the Red Sea open and ships out of danger from these Houthis. And so I keep expecting the oil traders who set the prices on the global market to wake up one day and realize that we have a real problem in the Middle East. This is not a short-term problem. It's a long-term problem.
Yeah.
And
You know,
sooner or
you
later,
mentioned
it's
that.
going to get priced in.
Let me ask
go ahead.
RT. Sorry. There is about 6 or 7 articles I was reading at 4 this morning, since I was out of the office yesterday. And I'm reading that everybody is in their earnings putting out that less and less CapEx into the rest of their year, 2024, for EMP companies. That's going to have a longer term impact on supply side coming up in Q4, Q1 of 2025. What do you guys think?
I think that, first of all, that is correct. But with us not spending as much money on capital expenses, we're not going back in, and all the production that we're getting right now, what that's telling me is, for the bigger companies, that once that production out of that well, they're not going to go spend money on that well to bring it back up, which is what I've been talking about now for 6 to 8 months. Is at some point we're going to stop producing all this oil, and we're not going to have the supply to meet the demand, and the price of oil is going to shoot up. But right now, also, what they're trying to do is, I mean, come on, it's a business. They're trying to make as much money as you can, because what's one of the things that's most important when it comes to financials? If you can lower your operating expense, you got larger profit margins,
And
and
more to
that's
the
the big
investors.
trick.
And David has brought this up many, many times, and that is the oil and gas companies are giving money back better. And RT, you've brought up a lot about how good the ESG or the oil companies are doing much better than they have in the past on not pollution. So anyway, let's take a look. I had this one this morning. Let me go over here. Ford cuts price of 2023 Mustang up by 8,000. This article's pretty huge. Oh, there's an energy absurdity today by this wonderful guy. David, what's your Substack article website? Your address?
It's called The Energy Transition Absurdities, davidblackmon.substack.com.
There we go. But this Ford thing, guys, if they're cutting their price by that much, that's nuts. I mean, that is just crazy, because these things are not selling. People are throwing up on whether or not they're going to buy EVs.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think it's an ugly. I mean, it's nothing but more than a little fancy Honda hatchback, and they put a Mustang. They put a Mustang name on it. I mean, let's be honest. And you know, it's a little Honda Civic hatchback, so are they really cutting the price, or are they doing that stupid, hey, we're going to knock off $8,100, or is it the MSRP that they're actually cutting the price of? You know?
Well, they're cutting the price, but they have to go talk to the manager first, right?
Oh, of course. You know,
Like
got a good deal for you today. Got a good
That
deal
was
for
a
you
good one,
today.
David. But guys, so instead of losing $47,000 per car, they're going to lose now 47 plus 8. How much is that per car?
I know.
I'd like to have a moment of silence for my brother-in-law who loves EVs. Okay.
Well, does he have the Porsche? If he has the Porsche, I mean, guys, look at that Porsche. It is sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they're sweet looking cars. Yeah,
They are.
Hey,
they got big torque.
I sold my Ford 250 about 2 years ago, and I've not bought a replacement for it. And I'm thinking of going to a 350 just because I can.
Make sure it's diesel, so you get 1,000 miles to a tank.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the things I have to tow, a EV would last about 15 minutes down the road. So,
Well, can you imagine hauling pipe with an EV?
no,
but they swear they're going to do it. It's just around the corner. Everything's just around the corner.
Hey, I did see this one. I have another secret meeting that I got video of. This is a Biden administration having a meeting on how they're going to solve the energy crisis. Are you
Oh,
guys
God.
ready? This
Oh,
is
yeah.
this is serious. This is a live meeting that they had. So here we go. And all of a sudden, oh my goodness, boom. Okay, here we are. For our podcast listeners, we're watching a bunch of
goes grandma.
dogs. Yeah, the meeting went to the dogs, and all these people are getting thrashed by their dogs on walks. Look at this one. Ow! Snap! Oh, snap! Oh, this one.
That's why I'm a
it's a-
cat guy. I never get that for my cat.
Watch this.
Oh,
Boom.
oh,
That
oh, that's
dad
ridiculous.
is going to get talked to. Oh, my goodness.
yeah, she was in trouble from the get-go, wasn't she?
I'm sorry. I just had to share this private meeting. Anyway.
Just another reason to have a cat, folks.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we've got probably about another 5 minutes here. When we close out, I did find this one, which I'll have the show notes in here. This one, I'm not sure if you guys saw this. Let's turn this one up. All right, you ready? We're not going to listen to the whole thing.
The American president is doomed. A little old man can barely move. If he moves too quick, he'll topple just like a domino. He's got that sinister smile and thinks he just might win the bet. But he's just hanging on, dangling like Hunt a cigarette. Hunter types with the hookah pipe say,
Whoever did this.
walk like a Joe Biden.
Okay. Walk by Joe Biden. I'll tell you what, that was pretty cool. I love that one. All right, guys. RT, how do people find you?
Oh, man, they can always go to pecoscountryoperating.com, pecosoperating.com. Definitely reach out or on LinkedIn or Twitter. I do have a Twitter. It's at the Truth. Truth.
Underscore
I don't even know
Truth.
my own Twitter. I don't even know. It's Truth_Crude. That's what it is.
There we go.
I try to post on there. Thank you guys. Yes.
Hey.
So yeah.
Cool. And David, how do people find you?
I'm in hiding, man. You can't find me right now.
And you're one happy kind of
After
guy.
recording this, I'm going into hiding, deep hiding.
After that video Stu showed, I'd go
I'm
into
going to join the
hiding.
Houthis to
Hey,
start shooting the
I'm
tanks.
just sharing with everybody what's going on out there. And I absolutely love all of our listeners and everybody else. You guys are rock stars. You can always find my stuff on energynewsbeat.com. All of our millions of people that are following all three of us. Have a great one. And we're going to leave you with this last video. Hey, have a great one, guys.
All right.
All right.